Hello friends, subscribers and new viewers of this channel, and welcome to Machine Learning RAG and Large Language Model tutorials. In this tutorial, we explain how to install and run locally RAGFlow together with local large language models. That is, in this video tutorial, you will learn how to install and run locally your own RAG system that completely executes on your local computer. That is, the execution is completely private and secure, and you don't need even to have internet once you install everything. Before we explain how to install and run locally RAGFlow, here is a brief demonstration. Over here you can see a graphics user interface of RAGFlow. Note over here that this graphics user interface is generated by using this local address and my web browser. Here's one very important remark. RAGFlow, together with the large language model and an embedding model, are running locally on my computer. And over here you can see the CPU I'm using. You can see my memory, 64 GB of RAM, and you can see my GPU over here, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3090. After installing RAGFlow, I created my first knowledge base. Here it is. I will now show you what is inside of the knowledge base. The knowledge base contains only a single PDF file. If I click on this PDF file, you will see it over here, or I can open it from the web browser. Here for demonstration, I downloaded an article from Wikipedia about Constantine the Great, which is one of the greatest Roman emperors. Now, I saved this PDF file on my local computer, then I loaded this PDF file inside of my RAG model, and then I ran an embedding model to create a database. This database is used by this chat over here, and over here I can ask a question. For example, was Constantine the Great the greatest Roman emperor? Let's see. Let me just correct spelling over here, and let's run this. Let's see what happens. And now you can see what happens. Now LLM was able to look into the database, and here it is. Now, over here you can see a very strict answer. The answer you're looking for is not found in the knowledge base. The knowledge base only contains information of Constantine I of Rome and his reign as an emperor. Okay, so let's now reformulate this question. Let's now do this, and let's be more precise. And let's send this to see what will happen. Yes, and you can see over here, however, according to historical record and scholarly opinions, outside this knowledge base, Constantine is often considered as one of the most important and influential Roman emperors due to its role in establishing Christianity. Okay, now, what is very important to observe that this particular answer is not found in this database, and this is very precise and a good test that the database is working. So let's ask for a question that is inside of the database. For example, let's ask where Constantine was born. So, what was the birthplace of Constantine first? And let's see. Yes, and you can see over here, was born in Nisus, modern-day Niš, which is located in ancient Mysia, now part of Serbia. This is actually Serbia today, one of the largest cities in Serbia. And over here you can clearly see, if you look early life, Constantine was born on 27th February in the city of Nisus, which is today Serbia. Okay, amazing. Now, this is just a brief demonstration of capabilities of RAGFlow. You can, of course, extend these capabilities by including complete textbooks. You can include, for example, formulas. You can also include some tables, graphs, etc. Okay, Let's start with the explanation of the installation procedure. First of all, in order to install RAGFlow, you need to install Docker. I created a separate video tutorial explaining how to install Docker Desktop on Windows 11, and here is the tutorial. A link to that tutorial will be given in the description below. Consequently, my advice is to first watch that video tutorial and then you can proceed further. Next, you need to install Git for Windows. To do that, open your favorite web browser, in my case Google, and search Git for Windows. Click over here and click on this file in order to download Git. Then, once the file is downloaded, open the file and Git will be installed. Here's an additional comment, namely, while installing Docker, you would have to install WSL or Windows Subsystem for Linux. So let's verify that you have WSL on your system. To do that, the best strategy is to click here and search Ubuntu. And over here you will be able to run Ubuntu, and you can, for example, type this to see your Ubuntu version. Another way to see if WSL is installed is to click here, then search for PowerShell, start the PowerShell in administrator mode, click on yes, and over here you can type WSL list to see all the Windows, or better to say all Linux distributions inside of the Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, let's start with installation. First of all, click here and search for PowerShell or Windows PowerShell. Then do the right click and click on Run as Administrator. And over here I'm going to zoom in and resize this terminal such that you can see what I'm typing, and at the same time you can follow the commands given over here. First of all, let's execute this command. And after executing this command, let's set this number over here. Now, every time you start RAGFlow, you would have to do this, and this becomes annoying. A better strategy is to do the following. A better strategy is actually to automatically make the system to execute this command and set this number over here. So let's learn how to do that. First of all, exit to go back to the PowerShell, and then let's go back again. And then over here, let's call the VI editor. And let's edit this file, etc.sysctl.conf. So let's do that. So some of you might not be familiar with VI or Vim editor. However, it's not so difficult to use. Now, over here, you need to enter this line, as I did over here. Most likely, once you open this file, you will not see anything, and the best strategy is to do the following. I'm just going to erase to show you. So your file will look like this. Then you can simply type this command over here. I'm simply going to copy and paste it. Oops, I'm going to just do this. 1 second. And here I need to paste. For some reason, copy and paste doesn't work inside of Vim, so I'm going to type manually. VM max underscore map underscore count is equal to this number over here. So it's 262144. So let's verify that everything is okay. VM.max, let's see over here, underscore count is equal to this number. Okay, that's it. Now to save this file, you need to press escape. Then you need to do double colon or just colon, this symbol over here, and then you need to press X to save the file, and that's it. So let's now type this cat and the content of the file. Let's copy this, paste to see that the file contains this line, and that's precisely the line over here. Let's compare that these two lines are the same. They are vm.max underscore map underscore count 262.262.144, and that's it. Okay, now we're good to go. Next, you need to restart your computer such that these changes take effect. So consequently, restart your computer. Click here, here, and restart. After restarting the computer, let's download the remote repository and let's install RAGFlow. First of all, to do that, click here and search for command prompt. Open the command prompt in administrator mode. Over here, I'm going to resize this window such that you can see what I'm typing, and at the same time you can read the commands that are written over here. First of all, go to the root C drive, and then over here you need to clone the remote repository by using git. Now what we are doing over here, we are actually accessing or using all the files on this remote repository, and we are downloading them on our local computer. Namely, this is the repository of RAGFlow. So let's do that. And now what will happen, all the files will be downloaded and the files will be stored in a folder called RAGFlow. So let's navigate to that folder. And inside of this folder, we need to check out the correct version of RAGFlow. To find the correct version, go back to the RAGFlow repository and scroll all the way down to see what's the most recent version. Namely, if you go down, you'll see over here this table, and you can see that it's RAGFlow 0.16.0. Consequently, let's check out that version. To check out that version, we need to execute this. And then after that, we need to actually do the installation. And here, you need to execute this command. Now, copy this command, and here it is. This command will download everything. That is, it will pull all the images that are necessary to run RAGFlow inside of Docker containers. So be patient over here so you can see what you're pulling. This is going to be around maybe 3 gigabytes. So consequently, be patient. And after some time, you'll see the outcome. You can see what is being created, what is being started, and you can see the status over here. What is very important to notice over here that the RAGFlow server is started, RAGFlow ES is started, RAGFlow Redis is started, and RAGFlow Minio is started. So let's verify that these containers are actually started. To do that, let's open a new command prompt. And inside of this command prompt, let's type this docker ps a. And over here, you will see this important message, and the output you will see when these containers with the corresponding images and names are started. They are actually started around a minute ago. That is, they're started after we have installed, and this is in accordance with this. Good. Before we actually start RAGFlow graphics user interface, we need to install local models. So let's learn how to do that. Okay, so go to web browser and go to the Ollama website. Here it is. And first of all, let's install Ollama. To install Ollama, download over here and download for Windows. Namely, we are going to use Ollama to run Docker, or better to say, to run large language models, which will then be interfaced with Docker containers, and I will explain it later on. Okay, so let's see where is Ollama. Should be in the downloads folder. Let's wait for a while until Ollama is being downloaded. Here it should be. Let me wait. Double click on Ollama setup to start the Ollama installation. Here it is. Let's wait for a while until Ollama is installed. Click on install, and now Ollama will be installed. And the next step will be to download the models. So let's wait until Ollama is installed. Next, let's verify Ollama installation. To do that, click here and you should see this cute icon of Ollama. Another approach for verifying that Ollama is installed is to go back to the command prompt and over here type Ollama, and you should see this generic reply. This means that Ollama is installed on our system. The next step is to download the models. To run RAGFlow, we will need two models. First of all, we will need a large language model. So over here, for illustration purposes, I'm going to install Llama 3.2 model, which is a relatively small model which can be executed relatively quickly. So go here, search for Llama 3.2, go to this website, and over here copy this command, go back to the terminal, and instead of Ollama run, simply type Ollama pull, and this will download the model. Wait until the model is downloaded. After some time, you will see this message, which means that RAGFlow is successfully installed. Good. The next step is to download the embedding model. To download the embedding model, go here, that is search for models, and search for BGE-M3. BGE-M3 is a relatively powerful and small embedding model. Consequently, let's install this model. Again, go to this web page, copy this, go in the terminal, paste this command. Oops, I didn't paste it very well. I need to copy this, paste it over here, and just pull the model like this. That's it. And let's be patient. Again, this embedding model is relatively small. It's only about 1.2 gigabytes. However, this is still a large model. The next step is to verify that our RAGFlow server running in the corresponding container can see Ollama. To do that, you first need to execute this. Then you need to try to curl this address. And if you get this response, Ollama is running, this means that our Docker container running RAGFlow was able to see Ollama on this address, and this address over here is very important. I'm going to highlight it over here. We're going to use this address to internally set up RAGFlow. Okay, now RAGFlow server is running, however we need to see the local address that we need to access. The best strategy to see this local address is to take this command and go back to this terminal and type this. Now over here, let me now expand and let's explain what's happening. You will see these messages and you will see what's happening. So let's see what's happening. Running on all addresses, and this address is very, very important for us. So let's copy this address. Here it is. Then let's go to web browser. Then over here, let's paste this address and you will see the error. Now to correct this error, just erase this port number and go over here and you will be inside of the RAGFlow. Now I'm going to set up everything as it is before, because the first time you actually access the RAGFlow, you will need to register yourself. That is, you will need to register your account, which is very easy. You just need to enter your address, you need to email address, and you need to enter your name. However, you're not registering RAGFlow online, you're registering RAGFlow on your computer. For some reason, when I started this address, that is when I accessed this address, RAGFlow automatically went inside. Okay, maybe I can try to sign out. Let me see, can I, yes, I can log out. Good. So this will happen once the first time you start RAGFlow. Let's be more precise. Once you start RAGFlow, you will see this. And then you need to click here on sign up. You need to enter your email address, your nickname, and your password. And once you have that, you can simply sign in. And I'm going to sign in over here. Note that over here, you're signing in locally. That is on your computer. Okay, so let's start with the setup. First of all, we need to set up the LLM and the embedding model. To do that, click here. Then over here, you need to model providers. I'm going to erase this and erase everything that you see over here. Most likely you will see Quen models and erase them, as I did erase this Ollama model that I already preset. So let's click here to add the model. Here, let's start first with the chat model. And over here, you need to enter the model name. To see the precise model name, go back to one of the terminals. Let me just exit from here and clear this from CLS. So open a new terminal and type Ollama list, and you will see the names of the models. So copy this name, paste it over here, and here's a very critical step. You need to provide the URL or the address of Ollama. To do that, you actually need to enter this address. So let's copy this address, let's paste this address over here, and let's set maximum number of tokens, a large number, and let's click OK and wait. Your model should be recognized and you will be able to run RAGFlow. Let's wait and let's see what will happen. And after some time you will see this message, Ollama. Now click here to show the models. Here is the model. However, we also need the embedding model. To add the embedding model, click here and then select the embedding model. Select the model name. Let's now go here, click here, copy, paste the model name. Let's provide the base URL. It should be the same. Let's copy this. Let's paste over here. And let's set the number of tokens, set some number, and later we'll adjust. And click OK. And the embedding model will appear. Sometimes you will see an error while adding this model. Just repeat this step once more. Okay. However, we still didn't complete the complete setup. Next, you need to click on System Model Settings, and over here you need to specify that the chat model is Llama and the embedding model is this one, and make sure that you press OK. Don't forget to do this. If you skip this step, you will have the problem. The next step is to create a knowledge base. To create a knowledge base, click over here, then create a knowledge base. I will call it as history. Click OK, and over here click on the data set, and here you need to add the files. Here, for simplicity, I'm just going to add a single file. How to create a file? Well, I'm going to go to Wikipedia, for example, to this page, or to any arbitrary. Let's choose some other page. Let's, for example, King James. Let's see, who was the King James? King James of Scotland, for example. Let's start with him. Now, I'm going to save this file as a PDF file. To do that, I'm going to press Ctrl P, and I'm going to print it, and I'm going to save it as James PDF, and I'm going to save it on my disk in the Downloads folder. Let's make sure that the file exists. Here it is. Let's open it up. Oops, it's still not being created probably. It's still being, let's wait for a while until the file is being compiled. Let me just see what happened. Okay, James is still not there. For some reason I was not able to save, so let me try to do it again. Control P. Let me see, am I using the, let me change this, save, and let's call it James 1 of Scotland, and this should print everything. Let me go here and see. Yes, here it is. The original James is here. It just takes more time to download everything. So let's open it up. Here it is. Perfect. Now let's open this file in RAGFlow. Go to the data set, click on Add File, Local Files, click here and click on James. Open, click OK. And now you'll see that the file is here. Next, we need to parse this file. To parse this file, you can simply select this thing, and here you can click on Parse, or you can simply click here. Now what's happening? The embedding model is being called, and this embedding model will actually parse this file. That is, it will enable RAGFlow to access the information in this file. Now, depending on how fast is your computer, the whole process might take a while. Here you can see that CPU is being actively used and GPU is kind of partially being used. And it's going to take some time to parse everything. If you see some error while parsing, or if parsing cannot be enabled, click here on Configuration and make sure that the embedding model is being selected. However, the embedding model should be automatically selected since we specified the default embedding model. Okay, so let's go here and let's wait until everything is being parsed. Okay, and after some time, in my case, after maybe 1 or 2 minutes, you will see success over here and we can continue. Here's one very important comment. If you have a lot of files, just let your computer to work overnight and everything will be done probably in the morning. Okay, so let's click here on chat and let's create my first assistant. Here I have my old assistant from the beginning of the video. I'm going to erase it. So you will see this thing. So let's click on create assistant. Let's call the name as assistant Alex assistant. Wow, this sounds so fancy that I have an assistant. Okay, here let's select the knowledge base history. Here click on prompt engine. Here you can, for example, I don't know, adjust several things. You can adjust the prompt. I'm not going to touch anything over here. And over here, let's click on model and make sure that the model is Llama 3.2. Let's increase the temperature. Here you can increase the tokens. So for example, let's go with 5,000. I don't know, maybe not, maybe that's too much. Let's go with, for example, this number or even less. Let's go with, not to exaggerate, with let's say 1,000 tokens. And let's click on OK. And let's now click here to start a new chat and let's ask a question. For example, let me go back and let me see what is this database, since this is a new file. And okay, so James First of Scotland. So let's ask a question. Let's see. Let's see, for example, you can find some question to ask. So when was this person born or something similar? So let's start with that question. When was James First of Scotland born? Let's see. Okay, that's all for today. I hope that you like this video. If you like the videos I'm creating, please press the like and subscribe buttons and see you in the next video tutorial.